Are we set to begin?
And we are all set to begin. We're live on YouTube.
All right. And I will call this meeting of the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency Finance Committee to order. My name is Darius Shonfar. I am the chair of this committee. With us, we have a full committee today: Tracy Metzger, Susan Petto, myself, and Lee. The first order of business is a call for a waiver of the reading of minutes and to accept them as presented in our materials.
So moved.
Tracy,
No, second.
Okay, Lee, second. Any discussion, corrections, additions? All right. Then all those in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Minutes are passed. I want to note for the record also that Dominic Casolaro, a member of the IDA board, is here as well. All right, the next order of business, Marco Palca, our Chief Financial Officer, go to the quarterly budget report.
Thanks, Darius. So for the second quarter, agencies were a little below budget by about $226,000. Interest was lower due to the COVID-19. The banks did lower the interest rates in the second quarter, so that's why that's showing lower. On the expense side, professional service agreements were a little higher in the second quarter, but that was pretty much the timing of the audit expenses for 2019 audit, as well as some third-party analysis billing, which does get billed to the applicant. All the other expenses were either under budget or pretty much right on the money. So for the second quarter, we had a deficit of $134,000 versus the budget of $94,000, or a variance of $229,000. For the year, so far we're at $326,000 in agency fees, budgeted $691,000. We do have a variance. We are projecting still New Scotland Village to close this year, and that's about a $400,000 fee. Interest, if it continues this way, will run a little bit lower than budget. And through the first two quarters, we were $18,000 over budget expenses, but that was all third-party analysis that was billed to the applicants. So that will show up in the revenue line. So with that, for the first half of the year, we have a deficit of $63,000 versus a budgeted revenue of $285,000.
Perfect. All right, thank you. Our next order of business is someone. Is that an echo from the that people are hearing? I think if people are not participating, yes, put themselves on mute. I think that may have solved it. Still getting an echo? Are we still hearing an echo?
It's better.
All right, well, we'll give it a go anyway. Okay, the next order of business is unfinished business, 1211 Western Ave, Property Associates. We have on the agenda for today, discussion, possible positive, negative recommendation, public hearing resolution. I would note record that we have begun to receive some public comments and did receive 3 of them today, including one from the council member of the Neighborhood Association, president of the area. So Andy, I guess I'll throw it over to you.
Thanks, Darius. I think Tom is going to lead with some initial comments, and then I'll take it from there.
Great.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
the echo's still pretty bad. If maybe Tammy can mute everybody who's not speaking, and that might, whoever it is that doesn't know they're not muted.
Is this better?
It seems to be.
All right.
All right, Tom, let's give it a go.
Thank you. Good afternoon, directors. Before Andy goes into a detailed review of the proposed project at 1211 Western Avenue, I just wanted to take a few minutes to give a brief recap of the process to date. As you recall, at the Finance Committee meeting on March 11th, staff introduced the 1211 project. At the time, the development team was seeking approximately $16.3 million in real property tax, sales and use tax, and mortgage recording tax exemptions. The application sought the assistance framework for properties assessed at over 100,000 per unit. Following the meeting with guidance from the committee, staff engaged a third party to analyze the application and prepared its own review of the project as well. The preliminary conclusions of both staff and third-party analyses did not support the initial request from the developer. In mid-June, around the time when we had prepared to report back to the committee, the developer resubmitted their application to the IDA. The revised application that is before the committee today is for approximately 13.6 million in real property tax, sales and use tax, and mortgage recording tax exemptions. The application is now seeking the assistance framework for properties assessed between 80 to 89,000 per unit. Other than the change requested exemptions, the proposed project we analyzed remains relatively the same. A 6-story multifamily dwelling complex with approximately 136 apartments and 150 parking spaces. Thank you, and now I'm going to turn this over to Andy.
Thanks, Tom. For the record, I'd like to note that the project applicant is present. Jeff Amiguel and Ariel High are both either on video or on the line. So they will be able to answer any questions that the committee may have as well. Expanding on Tom's summary, the proposed project includes a construction of a 6-story, approximately 190,000 square foot mixed-use multifamily commercial retail complex containing approximately 136 residential apartment units and approximately 1,800 square feet of commercial retail space on the ground floor. The project will also contain an internal parking garage for approximately 150 vehicles. An existing 30,000 square foot vacant commercial office structure on site will be demolished. The estimated project real property benefits over the 18 years of the requested assistance, looking at the revenue gain to the taxing jurisdictions. Please note, I sent around a revised summary earlier today. I had a minor error in my initial status quo taxes. So that has been revised. Those revised numbers reflect status quo taxes of approximately $570,000 with projected pilot payments over the 18-year requested assistance schedule of approximately 8.4 million, with a net benefit to the taxing jurisdictions of approximately $7.8 million. The associated property value increase with the proposed project, the current assessed value is just under $500,000. The anticipated improved future assessed value is 19.5 million, with a net increase of approximately $19 million in assessed value. The estimated investment in this project is $35.7 million. The community benefits we will go over shortly. We will go over how this project scored with our framework analysis in more detail. The employment impact analysis, as with all projects coming through seeking real property tax exemptions, the City of Albany IDA will engage CDRPC, who will run an in-plan analysis that analyzes the direct, indirect, and induced impact of the job creation associated with the proposed project. That analysis is underway. We expect to have that in hand within the next couple weeks, and we will update this summary to reflect those results. The employment impact, the project is projected to create approximately 4 full-time equivalent jobs and approximately 90 construction jobs. The requested pilot, as Tom alluded to, and this portion has been updated to reflect the new requested hand. There is no requested deviation in assistance as to what the project evaluation and assistance framework provides. The applicant has requested the real property tax abatement schedule associated with projects with an assessed value between $80,000 and $89,000 per unit. They have also requested the standard commercial abatement schedule be applied to the commercial space on the ground floor on a proportional basis, which is standard. With that, I'd like to go into the analysis of the project score through our framework matrix. If there's no other questions at this time. Okay. Under the segment of revitalization and identified growth area, proposed project. Oh, go ahead, Tracy.
Andy, I'm sorry, I missed you. You were mentioning an analysis that was being prepared that would be prepared shortly. Which analysis was that?
Sure. So we have a third-party analysis that we will get into shortly that evaluated the reasonableness of the request at hand, but we also.
I'm sorry. That's the one we've already been provided.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just missed something there. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Excuse me. The identified growth area, received 1 point for being an existing cluster, the cluster being education. Coming down to job creation, the project received 1 point for projecting to create 4 full-time equivalent jobs. For construction jobs, the project received 2 points for projecting to create 90 construction jobs throughout the duration of the construction. Financial commitment, the project received 3 points, investment of $35.7 million. And to round out their evaluation under the community commitment segment, the project has committed to 3 community commitments. The applicant has committed that 15% of construction jobs in the City of Albany residents. The applicant has 90% of construction jobs will be local regional residents. And the applicant has committed to 20% of the value of construction contracts being performed by MWBE and BBE entities, which gives them a final score. There's no other questions. I will move on to the executive summary provided by consultant WZHA.
Yeah, go ahead. And Tracy, I think you're still not on mute.
Okay.
All right. All right, Andy, go ahead.
Okay. This project, as per guidance within our framework, this project was considered a large development with a investment value over $25 million. Therefore, a third-party consultant was contracted to evaluate the financial fees and reasonableness of the request for assistance at hand. As Tom alluded to, we had over the last few months since the first presentation of the initial application for this project, we've been able to complete both staff analysis, and the third party has completed their analysis as well. The revised request at hand has been deemed reasonable based on the returns and the analysis of the developer's pro forma. If we would like to get into any more detail on the financial dynamics of this, I suggest we enter into an executive session, as this may contain proprietary information that the developer does not intend to be made public. And that's at the committee's discretion. And for the record, the committee has been provided a full report.
This is Dominic. Yeah, I kind of would like to discuss more of the finances based on the third party analysis.
All right. So do we, you want to do that right now, Dominic?
Yeah, well, whatever timing works better, but I'd like to do it, at some point today.
Andy, is there anything else we want to go over here at this point? Or should we go,
Barring any questions or comments from the committee, that takes care of our initial rundown at this time.
All right, so is there any other questions or comments from the committee on the project? I do have one, actually, from the public comments that we received. It's been suggested that because this is a foreign project, that the owners are of foreign origin, I guess. Chris Canada's question is probably for you. We can't discriminate against this project based on the national origin of the owners, can we?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's constitutional.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Just want to make sure I hadn't forgotten my constitutional law.
Got it.
All right, then. So if there's nothing else, I would ask that I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So the only comment I'll make before we go in was on some of the analysis that I read. There was actually in the application a description of the jobs, the full-time equivalent jobs that are being put out. That was just nice to see. I know it's not a requirement, but I believe this is one of the first applicants that I've seen where they put the job description in. So thank you for that. And if you want the motion, I'll make the motion to go into executive session.
Okay, is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
I don't think you can, Dominic.
Right.
I need Tracy
Oh.
or Susan.
And this
Susan,
is,
Tracy?
I'll second that, sorry.
Okay.
I was on mute.
sorry to interrupt, but you should say the reason why you're going into executive session.
Oh, sure. The motion is for we're going to executive session to discuss proprietary financial information on this project.
Second.
Thanks, Darius.
And
All
just to be clear, I am not a member of the finance committee.
Sorry.
It's okay.
All right. So all those in favor of the motion in executive session? Aye.
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 Okay. All right, so let's get ourselves set up for executive session.